When I got recruited to come here, it really was to rebuild the pharmacy department and bring it back to standard.
The software was continuously breaking down. It was very old and antiquated.
We'd had a never event at one of our campuses where we had overdosed neonates with heparin. It became very evident that we knew that we needed to move toward the patient. Pharmacists need to get out of the four walls of pharmacy and move toward the patient.
As pharmacists, we receive a lot more training in pharmacology than physicians do.
The nurses love having the pharmacist available. Every day there's drug changes, whether it's a new medication that's on the market, a change in a medication that's already there, a new use for that medication. And nurses just simply have so much to focus on, they don't have time to focus only on the medications for their patient.
Packaging is the highest risk that we do in hospital pharmacy. It's different than when you go to your community pharmacy and the pharmacist fills a prescription, they're filling it for you.
6 different facilities were doing things 6 different ways, and when that came to light, it was like, wow. The guys from CareFusion were awesome. We sat down with nursing, learned their processes, questioned some of their processes, and then we also sat down with all the pharmacies in our region. We came to an understanding of one process.
So the idea of creating a centralized distribution system that would provide one particular point of barcoding would provide us with a consistent result.
MSC, it's our centralized distribution facility. It distributes about 300,000 meds on about 32,000 transactions.
What you see going on right now used to take 4.5 hours to do. And a technician would basically run around the pharmacy pulling for each Pyxis unit. And now with Pharmogistics, we have been able to cut that time down to about an hour.
One of the safety tools that we were putting into place is our bedside barcode verification systems.
It absolutely makes a difference. It streamlines your processes. It gets you consistency with your medications.
My grandfather had been in the hospital, was not doing very well at all, and he was at CHRISTUS Spohn. 2 nurses came in and they scanned his bracelet, and there was a sound that went off, and all of a sudden they stopped and they said, this is not the right medication. To know that he potentially had an error that could have harmed him, and instead it was caught and didn't have any effect whatsoever.
I think the amount of safety in this system and its reliability cannot be overemphasized.
We reduced the readmission rate from 24% down to 14%.
We've been able to look at our reported medication errors, and we saw a 40% decrease in wrong patient, wrong drug.
Inventory 4 years ago when I started, it was probably about 50% higher than what I have now.
It's cut down huge on waste. Before we used to have boxes and bins of expired drugs.
Now, every day, there's probably 2 to 3 hours per day that a pharmacist is available out on the unit to help the nurses, to help the physicians, even to educate patients about their medications.
Why we're doing this is to put the pharmacists where they need to be.